So y'all, we might need to go back to South Africa. So it's been a while since we did an update on the channel around the move here and the immigration and everything like that, just because it's been a slow time around all of the immigration, around the paperwork and about the processes and everything like that. And a lot of people have been asking the question, okay, well, Richard, what are you doing in terms of work? What are you doing in terms of being able to work? Where's your paperwork and all of that? And to fill in the blanks, for those of you that don't know the current situation, Lindy and I came to America in June of last year. She was on the work visa, I was on a spousal visa, and we were under the impression that as soon as we had arrived, we could apply for my work permit and I would get it in sort of 9 to 12 months, and I would then be able to start working. So we filed for that document in beginning of August of last year. Fast forward to today, and we got some pretty devastating news a week ago. So before I get into it, I just want to say, for those of you that are new to the channel, that are not necessarily here because of our adventures into America, I hope that you stick around and just learn a little bit more about what's happening with us. And for those of you that did join the channel and subscribe to it because you wanted to know more of what it takes to get from South Africa to America, the challenges that we faced, this is it. So last week, it was just one of those Saturdays where Lindy and I were having an epic day. We went out, had a bunch of fun, went and watched a movie, came back, and in the post was a letter from the USCIS essentially saying, thank you for your paperwork, thank you for taking, or thank you for sending us your money, but we require more evidence before we were able to process your work permit. And that's specifically for me, and the evidence that they're requiring is evidence that Lindy has an active green card application approved and in process. And the short and sweet answer is that we don't. Lindy has been happily employed and working at the company that she's at now, and we were all under the impression that, hey, Richard can get this work authorization based on me being here on the spousal visa, and we wouldn't have to worry about the green card until at least the end of this year. And that is not the case. Now, I can't say whether it was because things have changed. It doesn't seem like things have changed. It just seems the way that we interpreted the website was incorrect. We didn't use a lawyer or anything like that, because I chatted to other people on some of the Facebook groups that we were on about South Africans moving to America, and everybody was like, oh no, it's a simple process. This is what you need to do. Pay the money, send them your money, and it'll all come through, and then you're able to work. And it's not. So people have been asking me, going, hey Richard, so what have you been doing for the last 8 months of being here? And although I keep myself busy doing different things, I've done a couple of videos and things like that, and there's always housework and stuff like that to go on. It is driving me absolutely mentally crazy that I am not able to do constructive work. And what I mean by that is go in, find problems, fix problems, apply my mind, work with people to better their systems, their processes, working with people, etc., etc. And it's been a case of a lot of the time that I won't leave the property, I'll say the property because we live in an apartment complex, for a couple of days. And by the time I do, I'm so energetic and just want to get out and go and do everything that it drives Lindy nuts, because all she wants to do is get home and just chill, because she's had, she's worked hard during the week. So it's been a big mental fight for me for the last couple of months, and I've kind of just played it down to go, don't worry, my work visa's coming, or my work permit's coming. And then to get this blow on Saturday was rough. I kind of just got it on Saturday night. Sunday I just kind of pulled into myself and just had my own space. Monday, Tuesday, it carried on. It was just, I felt defeated, and I've had time to process it now, but it is frustrating, because here I am, somebody that wants to say to the government, hey, let me work so that I can pay my taxes, so that you can take all the taxes you want out of my salary, but let me do a good day's wages so that I can be a part of society, I can contribute. And the short answer to it is no. I am yet to meet a single individual in America that understands why the US government have got these policies in place. And it just highlights again to me this whole immigration process in America, how broken the system is. Now, there are issues down at the borders and everything like that here in America, and it's frustrating for me because I come across legally paying all of my wages, all of my dues in terms of paperwork and all of that. Not just me, but for Lindy and I. We pay $410 to apply for this silly work permit, only to get told, no, sorry, you're not allowed to. Yet there are people that are illegally entering the country and they're able to file all these documents. They get approved. They don't have to pay for them. They get housing vouchers, meal vouchers, all of these other things. And I you know what? I understand everybody's got their own battles to fight. We have it too. We are living in an apartment that it's small, and maybe we need to do a little bit of a MTV welcome to my crib type video and show you guys exactly what we've got here for the amount of money that we're paying, because it's crazy. But here I am sitting as a skilled labor that wants to contribute to society, and I'm not allowed to. So you say, well, Richard, what are you allowed to do on an H4 visa? And that's a really good question that I don't have the answers to, because it just seems like everywhere that I go, people are asking for a social security number, whether it's for work, which I can't do, to volunteer. I love going down to the Tennessee Aquarium, which is literally just down the road here. And I've looked at volunteering with them, and one of the things that come up is like, what's your social security number? And I'm going, I don't have one. The US government will not give me a social security number, because their exact words to me were, what do you need it for? You are not allowed to work here, and therefore you don't need a social security number. But here's the crazy thing. They expect me to apply for a tax number so that I can file taxes. It's crazy. On an H4 visa, my understanding of it is I'm going to see a lawyer and consult with them and get the exact, understanding and everything like that. But my understanding is that as an H4 visa holder, I'm not allowed to work anywhere in the world. As long as I'm on US soil, I have to abide by US law, and that means that I may not have my feet on US soil and work for a company over in South Africa. I've kept in contact with the company that I worked for in South Africa. They've said to me, hey, when can you, help us with work? We've got some projects that need to be done, And legally, I'm not allowed to. Physically, I'm more than able. I've got, my little studio set up here. I've got internet, got the greatest, fastest internet in the world. But I just can't do it from a legal point of view. And the question starts to beg is like, well, do you do it and break the law so that you can earn some money, so that you can live, so that mentally you're good and everything like that, but put our whole immigration process in jeopardy? If the US government finds out that that is what I'm doing, one, it's tax evasion, because I wouldn't be paying taxes in the US. I'd have to still pay in South Africa, but I'm not paying for the US. I'm also breaking the conditions of my visa, which says I'm here as a spouse. You're not allowed to work no matter where you are. And it's just a frustrating process and position to be in. It's crazy when you sit and think about it, where if we had have known what we know now back when we had this whole move, we seriously would have reconsidered our move to America, at least how we did it. We love being here. We have met some amazing people that are family to us. We love them. We love their kids. We love spending time with them, and they have gone out of their way to help as far as they humanly possibly can with our settling in here in America. But it's just frustrating, because at that point, we probably would have said, well, if Richard's not allowed to work, how long is that process going to take? And what we are figuring out now is that the green card application to get to a point where Richard would be able to apply for his work permit is probably in the region of about 2 years. We probably would have relooked at this whole America thing. And it's sad, because America then would have failed on 2 accounts of having skilled labor in the country. They would have failed because Lindy would have turned around and said, well, thank you very much for the opportunity, but she's not going to take it up. And then they're losing out on me as a skilled labor as well. So it's just, it is broken, it is silly, it is painful, it is frustrating, everything at once. And it's definitely not a Republican versus Democrat thing in America. It's the government in general, because we've had different terms go through since these laws were in place and nobody's fixed it. The President of the United States did go out on TV a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, if something doesn't make sense, let those people come and chat to me and I will engage with them on how to fix it. Well, if anybody out there is able to get me in contact with Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, and he is willing to entertain speaking to a South African that has gone through this process and who has felt the pains, the frustrations, the roadblocks that we are facing, please, by all means, slide into my DMs, drop a comment down below. Let's open the dialogue and let's see what we're able to do. I would love to be able to help people in general to fix the system that is broken. The official unemployment rate in the States right now, if you go and Google it, is going to come up at like 3%. The unofficial employment rate in South Africa at the moment is probably about 30. The unofficial is probably closer to 60%, but the official unemployment rate is probably closer to about 30% in South Africa. And I'm all for looking after your own people first. I'm all for Americans saying America first. Richard, you're coming in here as a foreigner. We don't want you stealing a job from an American, etc., etc. I'm all for taking care of Americans first. But there aren't enough Americans to fill the jobs that are here. You cannot walk into a single grocery store, restaurant, businesses that are constantly having signs up saying, we're hiring, we are hiring, we are hiring. And they are just not enough people that are either willing or wanting to fill up those jobs. So it's a frustrating thing to have to deal with. And Lindy and I are sitting at this point now going, well, what do we do? We've been entertaining the ideas of looking to buy a house. We've been entertaining the ideas of looking to buy a piece of land and developing that land. And this really has been just an absolute painful, frustrating thing to have to deal with. And truth be told, I've had to redo this video like 4 or 5 times just to get it out and to verbalize it properly. So yeah, the long and short of it is that, Richard, you're not allowed to work. Can I apply for an H-1B visa? I can if I can find a company that's willing to sponsor me. The challenge around that is that I don't have this little piece of paper that says, hey, you've got a bachelor's degree. Lindy does, and that's why we were able to get it on her account. But I don't have a bachelor's degree. I'm in IT. Technology is changing all the time. But I come in at a very specialized level in IT, and there are companies that are wanting to employ people like me. But one, they can't find that talent in America. Second, they can't just straight out employ me because I don't have the work permit. Thirdly, they can apply for the H-1B visa, apparently, but because I don't have the bachelor's degree, it's almost like, that you just can't do it. So anyway, I'm going to go and meet with a lawyer, explain the case and just find out more information. And once I've got more information, I will come back and feed it to you guys and just bring you guys up to speed on where we are and what the next steps are and everything like that. One of the things that has sort of pushed me further because of this this ordeal is I have been thinking about and wanting to start a podcast. It would be on a separate channel, and I will link in the description below and probably put it across the screen over here. How pretty does it look? The channel. So if you want to go ahead and subscribe to that channel, I would appreciate that. And I want to use that platform as a place to open up dialogue. It's going to be about different things. I'm going to be chatting with people in the 4x4 world. I'm going to be chatting with my friends on there. I'm going to be chatting with maybe even the lawyer to talk about some of these cases and things like that. Maybe chat with some other South Africans. I want to chat with people that have stories to tell. There are so many so many diverse people out in this world that have got stories to tell that they may have never thought about airing it out and, you know, for the world to see. But I want to create a platform where they can do that. You know, I've been up into Uganda, and I had a run-in with the law there in terms of, you know, corruption and that type of thing. And I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime or anything like that. And in actual fact, I was, you know, taken into the chief of the secret police and apologized to because of what had happened. And there's stories like that I would love to share. So if that's something that you would like to do, go ahead and subscribe to that channel, and we're going to start getting some content going out on that. And in terms of this channel, one of the questions that I'm going to ask to the lawyer is, hey, can I continue to grow this channel? Can I monetize it? Can I do all of those things? And for that to happen, I need your help. We need your help. It's been a long time, you know, dream of mine more than Lindy's, to grow this channel to, you know, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million subscribers, to share our lives, to share some of our stories, to share the challenges, to share the successes, to share, you know, car builds and outings and all of that type of thing. And I need your guys' help for that, for getting the channel out there. So if you've liked any of the videos that you've seen on our channel, please like them, comment on them, share them, let your friends know about them so that we can grow this channel. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, but it really does help us in terms of growing this channel and getting out there. So for those of you that do that already, I appreciate you. I know that there are regular people that comment on our videos and like them and, you know, chat to us about them, and for that I want to say thank you. And I want to end this video off sort of on a high note, but also sort of a down note. As I mentioned, the last week has been tough mentally for me as well as for Lindy, and I can't imagine. I thought about doing this video with her and without her, and I felt like I needed to do it alone just so that I could get my thoughts out to you guys and share it with you guys. But I just want you guys to know that, you know, reach out to somebody that you love, reach out to somebody that you care about. Just let them know that you are thinking about them and that you appreciate them, because often in life, we as individuals sort of put up curtains and clouds for the challenges that we face. And one thing that I'm realizing through this process is that when we reach out to those around us, we let them know what our challenges and our burdens are, people care and people are willing to help, whether it be a text to say, hey, we're thinking about you, good luck with the next steps, or this or that or the next thing, or say, hey, you know what, you've had a rough time, why don't we go out and do something fun, or whatever the case is. There's people that care. So be that person that reaches out and let somebody else know that you care and that you're there for them. So until the next time, I appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video or want to show us support, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. It would really mean a lot to not just me, but to Lindy and I. And reach out to that friend. Until the next time, bye.